There on pole position, having won the Super Pole race, Reece Rothwell, MC71, Andy Marriott, and alongside him, number 10, Lance Carey. There's number 1, Ricky Chadwick, the Oak 25's winner from last year. Number 30 there, Alex Beckers, the young Latvian rider. And number 18, Maria Costello, the only girl in the series so far this year. This will be her first experience of the MRO T3 Challenge. Red flags about to clear. Reece Rothwell, number 9, on pole position. But my goodness me, what a good start from the outside of the grid by Davy Jones and Mark Kringle. And they were at it like knives in the early stages earlier on. But look at Jack Sim. Jack, where on earth did he come from? Well, the answer is further back down the grid, but what an absolute rocket ship start. Number 96, Jack Sim, through into the lead for the first time down the Craner curves. And it looks like he's going to tuck in ahead of Mark Kringle and Reece Rothwell. Watch the field filing through there, and just enough room for all of them to stay on board through the old hairpin. But up through McLean's, it is Jack Sim, Mark Kringle, Reece Rothwell, and in 4th place, Andy Marriott. A good start for him from the second row of the grid. The field makes its way once again up the... Oh, and there's a rider down there on the exit of McLean's, and the marshal runs out immediately, but another bike went off at the same time, I think just trying to avoid hitting. It's James Stone, and James, well, he did an amazing job avoiding the other rider, but it meant he had to ride in the gravel trap, and he came down, his own bike landed on top of him. That caused the race to be stopped, but they go for a restart. Both those riders okay, thankfully, but not able to take part in this new running of the race. Once again, down into Redgate. Look at Jack Sim. Well, he's going to be king of the starters so far this season. He gets away brilliantly once again at the front of this and leads down into Craner curves for the first time. Still under great pressure though. He does get these. Oh, that's a... Well, he's picking his own line there, and you can see the track surface is almost completely dry. It's certainly better than any conditions we've seen previously today. Richard Green there, clinging on mightily around the old hairpin, number 12, but the leaders meanwhile up through McLean's and towards Coppice. And great to see a bit of sunlight. I'll tell you what, sun is shining, but it certainly is not warm out there. It's really chilly conditions here at Donington Park. Once again, it's that man from the Isle of Man, Mark Kringle. He just eases into the lead at the S's ahead of Jack Sim. So Jack's great start really going for naught once again. Mark Kringle nicks by, and it will be Mark to lead through Redgate. Jack Sim in 2nd place. Then it is the pack, and back there in the pack, quite a way down, we can see Ralph Turco there. Those yellow and blue leathers already familiar, even though this series is just 1.5 races old. He'll be fighting his way up the field, but in 3rd place at the moment, Reece Rothwell, race ex-Super Teen, of course, and starting this race on pole position, courtesy of an excellent win in the earlier Super Pole race. There, Reece getting down to it, and you can see the concentration. He wants to get away from the chasing pack. He wants to latch on to those leading two. There, Ralph Turco's leathers once again glinting in the sun, but look at the lead. And there you can see Reece Rothwell in the background trying to bridge the gap, but up the front, Jack Sim very late on the brakes for the S's and running into Goddard's. Reece Rothwell making up. He is just nibbling back by fractions of tenths of a second on the 2 leaders, and Jack Sim into Redgate with Mark Kringle on his shoulder. Then Reece Rothwell, and gradually the battle behind sorting itself out. We can see in there Ricky Chadwick. Ricky, who will be desperate to try and win the TDG Challenge. There's a lot more runners in the over 25s class this season already, and Ricky is going to have his work cut out hanging on to the number 1 plate. As up the front, Jack Sim, he now of course one of the TDG runners and the leading one in this race at the moment, still ahead of Mark Kringle, and there we see Reece Rothwell in 3rd place. And Ricky Chadwick there, under pressure from the race one winner, Josh Wainwright. And Josh has got him. Yes, he's nailed it, running up the hill into Coppice. But the leaders, now look at this, Constantine, a wonderful charge by Rhys Rothwell. In third place at the moment, number 9. Is he going to stick it up the inside? Well, he thinks better of it, but Mark Kringle under pressure. But under most pressure, Jack Sim, little look over the shoulder there as he exits Goddard's and runs onto the straight. Just slamming down through the gears into the top of Redgate. But Rhys has made the battle for the lead. A three-way battle now. He's really right with him. And then it's the gap behind to the pack. There we see Maria Costello. The bike couldn't get that worky in the earlier race, but having a better run now. But up the front, it's all about pressure. We can't really take our eyes off this. Jack Sim, Mark Kringle and Rhys Rothwell. Which way is this one going to go? It's pays your money time, takes your choice. All of these three well capable of winning this second ever running of the Triumph T3 Challenge. And well, I thought it was going to be 3 abreast, and it may well be as they come down into the S's. It's going to be Mark Kringle who just squeezes up there, and look at that, Rhys Rothwell dumps Jack Sim back into third place. And the last lap flag, the old black and yellow flag there, indicating the beginning of the last lap. We see Josh Wainwright there with the yellow wheels. He's one up the front. It's still Kringle, still Rothwell in second, and still Jack Sim must be smarting. I mean, such a brilliant start. Led for those most of the laps of the race, actually, and in one fell swoop at one corner, dumped back into third. Well, he's got about half a lap to do something about it, and look at him just sweeping left and right down through the Craner curves. There, Jack Sim, all concentration, but it's a hard old chase. Mark Kringle then leads. Rhys Rothwell, he's still on a charge. He's still lapping quicker than the other two in this little group at the front. But the three of them really tearing away from the rest. It's all about them for the second ever MRO T3 race. Heads down, under the bridge. Mark Kringle, can he hang on? Rhys Rothwell having that brilliant charge to get away from the midfield pack and get up to the front. And Jack Sim closing at the last, but the checker flag's being made ready. It's going to be a win for Mark Kringle. Rhys Rothwell picks up second ahead of Jack Sim. And look at this, the battle for 4th and 5th. It's been virtually race long, and it looks as though it's just going to go the way of Scott Rowbottom ahead of Andy Marriott. And David Jones picking up 6th place. Checker flag still being given some air there, but what a good win. Mark Kringle, thumbs up to Rhys Rothwell. Rhys, yes, he must be pleased with that. A real good charge. But the win to Mark Kringle. Rhys Rothwell second, Jack Sim third, Scott Rowbottom, Andy Marriott and David Jones, the top 6 over the line.